All right, so this is not up. It was up. Huh? It was up, but it went to sleep. Okay. All right. Okay. Good morning. Welcome to the Committee on Public Safety, Judiciary, and Homeland Security. Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Commissioner Kinlock, Commissioner Scott, Chair Clark Coleman.
Present.
You have a quorum present.
Okay, so why isn't it showing? It doesn't even say. Oh, okay. It doesn't show here though. That person not present. Well, we won't worry about it. Okay, so next item.
B, Chairwoman's remarks.
I have, now it's working. I have none. Next item.
C, approve the June 21st, 2023 meeting minutes.
Okay,
Support.
it's been properly moved by Commissioner Scott and supported by Commissioner Kinlock. Are there questions on the motion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please vote.
Motion carried.
Thank you. Next item.
D, unfinished business. There is none listed.
Okay, next item.
Item 1, under new business, forwarding the June 2023 report on Sheriff's Office overtime costs.
Okay. What do we have here from the Sheriff's Office? And please identify yourself.
Good morning, Vanita Terry, Director of Administration, Sheriff's Office. So the overtime report that goes through May 31st of 2023 shows that we have actually 1.5 million over at this point through the month of May of overtime expenditures over budget. Again, that is attributed to 385 vacant police positions. 35 of those are civilians. Through the fiscal year 2023, we have hired 42 police officers and we have lost 76 officers through retirement.
So you hired 42 and you lost how many?
76.
76. Wow,
So
that's going at the world backward.
Unfortunately, but we're trying. So going into that also, what increases our overtime budget is the employees that are up under the FMLA, the Family Medical Leave Act. At this time, we have 143 active FMLAs. And through the month of May up through June, we have had 37 employees test positive for COVID.
How many?
37.
Are they still doing that?
Let's slow down a little. So that is our overtime report for the month of May. Are there any questions?
Commissioner Basham.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you. Is the recruiting effort, I mean, I'm seeing we're losing more than we're getting. Is there something that the commission could do to help you to recruit more than you're recruiting? And also, with two of them, then I'll let you. The other thing too, with the FMLA, that really pushed up during COVID. And is there an effort to try to get those folks back versus just going what the doctor says that they're on? You know what I'm saying?
Yes, but
Yes,
you know, when it comes to FMLA, our hands are tied because it's federal. So if all checks out as far as what the doctor provides and It's approved through our central M&B Disability Department as well as sheriff's personnel. We have to follow those guidelines. My FMLA personnel officer does look at the numbers as far as the days that they're eligible, and they are very much on top of tracking that information, but we cannot deny them having an FMLA if all information is present. And a lot of the FMLAs I'm seeing they're not COVID, anything to do with COVID. It's all just stress.
What's the average time that they're off?
I believe each FMLA they have to be recertified. I'm not an expert here, but I believe it's 6 months and it has to be recertified at that time. Also, as far as the time that they are given, it's based on hours that they have worked as well. It's a formula. And I could get more definitive answers for you and email that over to you as far as the formula is concerned.
Yeah, I used to, in a former life, used to be an employee assistance rep, put people in treatment, mental health and substance abuse.
Yes.
And we were constantly doing trainings to assist with folks dealing with issues, stress, substance abuse, so on and so forth. Even babysitters for, if you got kids and you can't find somebody to, or whatever, but there's a variance of folks that have a variance of issues. And I'm just saying, if there was some kind of effort to try to see what the needs are and then try to address those needs on a macro scale versus looking at individual people, just a thought.
Okay.
So
I'll take that back.
thank you.
Okay.
So they can only be off 6 months. And then they have to come back in and be recertified, and they can be off another 6 months.
And again, since I'm not an expert, but I believe it's 6 months and their paperwork has to be recertified. And it's not that they're off completely 6 months. A lot of these FMLAs are intermittent, meaning at any particular time, I could pick up the phone call and make a phone call and say, I can't make it in today, or I can't do the mandatory overtime due to FMLA.
That's it.
So,
And you've got 143 deputies who are these all deputies? Or are they other employees?
there are some civilians, very few, but majority deputies.
Wow. Any other questions from commissioners? Okay, hearing none. Can I get a motion? Oh, it's receive and file. Yeah. Motion to receive and file.
So moved.
I think. Martha, are you not? Oh, okay. What you did was you pressed the request to speak rather than pressing for motion. So we got here. Yeah, Kara Clemente is made the motion and Ray Basham seconded. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Please vote.
Motion carried.
Okay, next item.
Item 2, requesting commission approval of a 3-month 2020 National Criminal History Improvement Program grant agreement with the Michigan Department of State Police Grants and Community Services Division for the Sheriff's Office to purchase a live scan fingerprinting device.
Okay, you want to speak on this one, please?
Again, I'm Vanita Terry with Wayne County Sheriff's Office. This is a grant that we are receiving to purchase an additional live scan device for fingerprinting. This will go on our tether unit at the jail at Division 3. And once we move to Criminal Justice Complex, it'll be in our tether unit.
Okay, so this is a grant that you received from the state police.
Yes.
And that there's no county match
No county match.
required.
No county match required, no general funds.
And where is this one gonna go?
This is going to go in the tether unit at Division 3 in Hamtramck.
Division 3,
Yes.
Heather. Okay, any questions on item number 2? It's been properly moved by. Oh, yeah, I know, but yeah, it's been properly moved by Commissioner Kinlock, supported by Commissioner Scott. The Commissioner Clemente, you have a,
I
Okay.
heard you say, so it's being installed, it will be installed and then it'll have to be moved to the CJC. Is that within the contract that they're gonna move it? And
I'm not
is
sure.
there gonna be an extra cost if it gets moved?
I'm not sure because as we are moving the sheriff's office, how the equipment, if it's a company that will move all the equipment, or if this company just that's dealing with our live scan will move the equipment, I'm not sure about that. But this is going to be the 4th live scan device that we'll have.
Okay.
So 3 will be moving because we have 1 at Division 1 in mail registry. And there's 1 at Division 3 already now, but this one is going into the tether unit. The other one is at the road patrol, so that one won't move. So eventually with our move, all of our equipment will be moved.
Okay, thank you.
okay. Any other questions or comments on item number 2? Please vote.
Motion carried.
Thank you.
Item 3, requesting commission approval of the reappointment of Paul Bruno to the Wayne County Community Corrections Advisory Board.
Okay, so Paul has served in this capacity before. And as chair of that, of the Community Corrections Advisory Board, I think that he's done a magnificent job. So Ebony, you want to speak on it?
Yes, good morning through the chair, Ebony McCann, Adult Community Corrections Administrator from the Health, Human and Veteran Services Division. As the chair has eloquently stated, Mr. Bruno has served on the Community Corrections Advisory Board in the past. During the pandemic, his term expired. And there were some challenges with his technology. His email was inoperable for a period of time. And so I was unable to contact him. Mr. Guerrero, who's seated to my left, has been instrumental in reaching out and obtaining the appropriate documentation to get Mr. Bruno back appointed, or back to your view for a potential appointment to serve on the Community Corrections Advisory Board.
Okay. Tony, you want to make a comment?
Tony Guerrero, Chief of Legislation, Grants and Community Relations for the Prosecutor's Office. I'm here on Kim Worthy's behalf. Madam Chair, you have eloquently stated that Mr. Bruno has been on the Community Corrections Advisory Board for at least the last 4 years that I'm aware of. And I want to specifically thank Ms. McCann. She found that the appointment had expired, got a hold of me, and here we are.
Okay.
I have spoken to Mr. Bruno and he will be delighted to continue to serve.
Good. Wonderful. Wonderful. Okay, Commissioner Basham.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Is Mr. Bruno, when I hear that last name, relative of Vince Bruno?
No, he's not.
Oh, darn it.
He's talking about my godfather.
Mine too.
Yes,
Probably
you remember,
mine
by
too.
the way, my godmother says to say hello.
Oh, bless her heart. She's such a sweetheart.
Rose? All right.
Okay, so we have a motion to approve by Commissioner Kinlock, supported by Commissioner Scott. Are there any other questions on this motion? Hearing none, please vote.
We thank the committee.
And we thank you. Okay, moving to the addenda item.
Item 4 on the addenda,
Mhm.
requesting commission approval of change notice 1 to a grant agreement with the Michigan Department of Corrections, Office of Community Corrections for the fiscal year 2023 comprehensive plan and programs.
Good morning again, through the chair, Ebony McCann, Department of Health, Human Veteran Services, Community Corrections Administrator, I'm sorry. The department is requesting approval of a change notice to the fiscal year 2023 grant funds that we received from the Michigan Department of Corrections. The change notice is a result of a lack of utilization in a particular program item. I will share next week with the Community Corrections Advisory Board while we have extended or we're on mark to meet our utilization expenditures in other areas. In the fiscal year 2023 proposal, we requested funding for a gun violence prevention intervention program. We have worked extensively to identify the means and methods as to which we can implement this program in our community. We found that there are agencies or other agencies that are providing this work. And so now our efforts are to partner with those agencies to ensure that we are not duplicating the services that are already being provided. We want to identify if there are some gaps in those programs that they're offering. So I have, as of last week, reached out to Cheryl Jones, who served she's no longer there, but she served as the executive director for Ceasefire. And I was able to obtain some information regarding their program. I know that the city of Detroit has some efforts in which the county executive also has a task force that has been formed to identify a method or manner in which we can tackle gun violence. And so it is our hope in the Office of Community Corrections that we can partner with one of these departments or entities to supplant our funding, but ultimately provide increased public safety.
Okay, so we were not able to use the at least the $368,000, right?
That is correct. The RFP has not been issued, and so the funding is essentially sitting there.
Okay, so so we should not have this problem on the next budget?
The funding was requested in the fiscal year 2024 application as well. I think that we are a lot further along with planning and development of a potential program and or partnership. And so I don't anticipate this issue next fiscal year.
So you don't think they would hold that against us because we didn't use the funds that we were allotted before?
In speaking with our my counterpart at the state level, she understood and acknowledged that this was a development and that it would require more than potentially a year. And so she understands that it may have taken more time for us to actually identify the language for a potential proposal, issue a proposal, and then award a contract. So they are aware that it was going to take some time.
Okay, Commissioner Kedlock.
Yes, so I heard you mention Ceasefire. That's one of the more predominant groups that's out there in the community that I'm aware of. So you said there's the RFP that's going to go out. And so you're going to actually send this information to those organizations such as Ceasefire and others to respond to the bid?
So once the RFP has been completed, it is then I do anticipate to send out the RFP through procurement to those entities that provide that service in the community.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
So it's called Ceasefire?
Ceasefire.
Mhm.
Ceasefiring.
Ceasefire.
Oh,
Ceasefire.
ceasefire. Okay. Commissioner Scott. Oh, you made the motion. Oh, okay, I'm sorry. And Commissioner Basham. So it's been properly moved by Commissioner Scott, supported by Commissioner Basham. So are there any other questions or concerns on this item? Hearing none, please vote.
Motion carried.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next item.
F, such other matters as may be properly submitted before the committee.
I've not been informed of any. Next item.
G, public comments.
Okay, are the lines open?
The lines are open.
Okay. It is now time for public comments. So if there's anyone on Zoom, on the telephone or here in the chamber, please speak at this time. This is your time to speak. If you have any questions or concerns that you'd like to make at this time, please speak. Second call for public comment. If you'd like to speak at this time, please go ahead. Last and final call for public comment. Thank you, Madam Clerk. Next item.
Adjournment.
Okay, it's been properly moved by Commissioner Basham and anybody, Commissioner Scott supports it. So this meeting, all in favor?